Hello everybody and welcome back to Full Throttle Drive. Thank you so much for joining me on today's video. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about the C8 Mid Engine Corvette, and really I want to explain why the upcoming Mid Engine Corvette is going to be good for everybody, those that are very excited for the car as well as those that are not. And I hope you stay till the end of the video so you understand the points that I'm trying to make as to why that statement is going to be true. Now, as most of my subscribers know, I am a huge Corvette fan, and even though I own an Audi R8, I absolutely love Corvettes. I've grown up around Corvettes my whole life. I owned a C6 as a lot of my older content shows. I've driven several C7s. I love them, and I will be ordering an upcoming C8 Corvette. So Corvettes are really, really important to me, and I've done an incredible amount of research on the upcoming mid-engine Corvette, and I've found that there are two huge camps for the upcoming mid-engine Corvette. There's the camp like me that is very, very excited. They cannot wait to see what Chevrolet does to kind of push the limits of the C8 Corvette. They want to get past the wall that they hit with the front engine layout of the Corvette of the previous generation. Then you have the other camp, the people that really like the tried and true way of the previous generation. Since 1953, they have made a front engine based Corvette, and it's really worked well. The C7 is a great car. It is phenomenal, and I think that they really showed what Chevrolet can do. The interior creature comforts all the way to the modernized styling exteriorly, but yet it's still a throwback to the Stingray kind of look. And with the incredible sales that the C7 has had, it's no doubt that the current layout has worked for GM, but for several reasons they're wanting to move on to the mid-engine layout. Now first I want to talk about why this is going to be great for the people very excited for the new upcoming C8 mid-engine Corvette, and the first thing really has to do with performance. Now we talk all the time about performance in Corvettes, and this is going to be a very, very good performance plus added benefit, and that is because by moving the engine to the actual kind of mid rear of the car, we're going to see a much better weight distribution. And I've seen this a ton in forums where people talk about the C7 Z06 and its perfect 50-50 weight distribution, and of course that's correct. From the center line of the car we have a 50-50 weight distribution. However, with that long nose, it actually kind of skews that data, and it doesn't tell us exactly where in that half of each side where the weight resides. You could have it very up front and not even all the way in the rear. You could have it centralized in the very front, and that will actually throw off the balance of the car. And so it's a big, big plus going to a mid-engine layout, because we're going to get much more benefit of that weight being distributed to the center, but more over those rear wheels. Now, we've talked a little bit about the upcoming C8 Corvette possibly getting some sort of hybrid and even an all-wheel drive drivetrain of some sort down the road, but we know the upcoming base is still going to be a traditional rear-wheel drive system. So the added benefit of getting that weight where it's going to be with the engine in the rear is going to be huge. We're going to get much better traction, which gives us better performance, acceleration times, and whatnot. And us knowing that the upcoming LT2 is probably going to only put out 500 horsepower, maybe only 40 more horsepower than the current generation base C7, we want every bit of acceleration bonus that we can get, and that will be huge with that new weight distribution. Then we move on to what I think will be the biggest benefit, and that is handling. And again, the C7 is no slouch. By its track times you see all over the world, it absolutely is a contender, but there is no debate that the upcoming C8 mid-engine Corvette will outhandle its predecessor. It is going to be a much, much better handling machine, and that's why I think Chevrolet at its utmost is moving to this new layout design. And Chevrolet knows they were getting diminishing returns. The C7 ZR1 with 700 and plus horsepower was really pushing the limits of what that front engine rear-wheel drive drivetrain could do. And so by this changeover, we are getting a much better layout for increased horsepower over time. 500 horsepower won't be all that much, but we know we'll get more out of probably the Z06, ZR1, and possibly some sort of hybrid 1,000 horsepower Zora. And so they are really trying to push this new layout to the limit through this upcoming Corvette. So between better performance and better handling, this car is going to be an absolute animal on the track, and it's really going to be able to contend with the best of the best, and at a price point that is very reasonable. Price has probably been one of the biggest points and one of the biggest issues that we've thought about with the upcoming C8 Corvette is people have pushed out the number that this could be a six-figure Corvette. And while that may be true for later variations of the C8 Corvette, the base we now know will probably start at just about $5,000 over the current C7 Corvette, which is great news. A $62,000, maybe $63,000 mid-engine Corvette pushing 500 horsepower with the improved performance and handling, that's a package that I definitely think is affordable, and I think is a great price point for the upcoming Corvette, especially when you see what it's going to contend with in the future. We also know that the upcoming C8 Mid Engine Corvette, through leaked information and leaked patents out there, is going to have some really neat features coming up, even better than the C7 what they gave us. We're going to see a lot of options and really cool features that I think are going to make the car even better for daily drivers as well as on the track. Now, I hope most of you guys have stayed with me, because the point I want to make about the individuals that are not looking forward to the upcoming change of the C8 going from a front engine to a mid-engine layout, why that car is going to actually be good for you, is all based on pricing. And with the C7 being so popular, we built a lot of them. GM actually built many C7s, and we're starting to get a backlog of them. Not long ago, we actually had 232 days worth of inventory sitting on the lots, and as we've come into spring, that's actually trickled down to closer to 132 days, but that means 9,000 Corvettes are sitting out on lots, C7 Corvettes, and pricing is very competitive and will continue to be so, because you have a lot of people that are waiting for the upcoming C8 Corvette. And in addition to that, when the C8 Corvette comes out, you can bet that we're going to get many trade-ups, people owning current C7s, so the used market is going to get flooded. So if you're not a huge fan of the upcoming C8 Mid-Engine Corvette, it's actually going to be a great car to come out for you, because guess what? You're going to be able to pick up an incredible value on a C7 Corvette, and even if you're not looking forward to it, I cannot deny the fact that the C7 Corvette is already incredible performance versus what you pay for. It's a great car, and I really would not say anybody would be in trouble buying one, especially at the price point you're going to be able to pick one up going into the future. So guys, as always, what is your thoughts on the upcoming C8 Mid-Engine Corvette? Are you guys excited for it, or are some of you guys kind of bummed that we're going to be changing the layout and are actually looking forward to maybe just buying a C7 or even a previous generation of the Corvette that was what everybody thought the tried and true way of the Corvettes? But again, I'm very excited. I think it's going to be a great change up for the Corvette lineup, but nonetheless, we will see how Chevrolet is done on this huge changeover. Thank you so much for joining me on today's video. If you enjoyed it, please support my channel, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. We have tons and tons of content that's going to be coming out this summer, talking about my Audi R8 as well as the C8 Corvette, and I'm going to take you guys through all of the steps of my purchasing process. We're going to try to get an allocation. I have an individual that I'm wanting to work with, and I believe is going to give me an allocation once he actually starts taking pre-orders, and I'll talk you through that process as well as ordering one. That will be a lot of fun. I cannot wait to do the ordering process and share with you guys as I order that C8 Corvette. Then of course we'll take delivery, and hopefully by next year, we'll be making some really cool content with my C8 Mid Engine Corvette. So again, thank you guys. You all take care. We'll see you next video.